thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Kingdom Influencers. I am so excited about today's guest. Can you ladies introduce yourselves? And let's start with you.
Okay. Hello, I am Ebony Dorsalis, your Mrs. Florida Plus America 2022.
Hello, my name is Clarissa Young. I'm your Mrs. Sunshine State, America Plus 2022.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
I am
you.
so excited and just looking forward to this amazing conversation. So, I want to first dive in and just kind of talk about your platforms. A lot of people don't understand the importance of platforms and what that is and how important it is to be in the community as a voice or advocate for what you believe in. So I want you both to tell me about your platform and just, maybe why you started it and or your reasoning for choosing the platform that you chose.
So my platform is Lady in the Mirror International, and pretty much our mission is to rebuild young girls and women who suffered from low self-esteem, who were sexually abused, who deal with emotional trauma. I was sexually abused at a young age from someone who was supposed to protect me, and a lot of times your family tells you to be quiet about it, you shouldn't talk about it, what goes on in this house stays in this house. Yeah, no, we're not doing that, especially not in 2022. So that's what our mission is with Lady in the Mirror, to really just rebuild those young ladies and those women from all walks of life, whatever they dealt with emotionally and especially with sexual abuse.
I love that, and I love the fact that you chose a platform that's so close to home. I think that the greatest form of healing for a lot of people sometimes is taking something that was supposed to cause you pain and turning that pain into power.
Absolutely.
And you did just that by, being a voice and helping women. Because a lot of times when people suffer from low self-esteem or especially sexual abuse, it really is in the home.
Yes.
And it's so hard to talk about. There aren't many safe spaces because you're judged, you're looked down on, so really quickly, what has it been like, talking to these girls and just kind of experiencing, being that voice or being that ear for them?
The most important thing that I've learned through this process with dealing with young women who've experienced what I went through is they're just so creative. They're gifted, they're ambitious, they're strong, they're overcomers, they're very powerful in their own right. And just seeing how a lot of them were sexually abused by a relative
Right.
is what really just grinds my gears. But the reality is, our mission is to make sure that they understand it's not their fault, and a lot of them think it's their fault.
Right.
Because if you've ever been sexually abused, one thing that they tell you is, don't say anything, you'll get in trouble, and it's your fault. And so that's just a manipulative lie that pedophiles, if we can be frank, use
that's what
to
they
make,
are.
to make a person, an innocent victim, feel like it's their fault, and so they won't say anything. So that's what I found very in common. They just think it's their fault. They feel ashamed. They feel worthless. But thank God for Lady in the Mirror and the assignment. We're here to uproot that lie
Right.
and help them understand that it wasn't your fault and you're not your trauma. So that's what I've been seeing a lot. They think it's their fault.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. And you're doing amazing things.
Thank you.
So, Mrs. Sunshine State, tell us about your platform, and why you started your platform.
Well, the name of my platform is FAB, which stands for Finding Acceptable Balance Coaching. At my highest, my platform is my heart to me. It's also my business. At my highest, I was 515 pounds.
Wow.
And pretty much I felt imprisoned in my own body. I was also threatened to be a W amputee by the age of 50 because of bone-on-bone arthritis inside of both of my knees. And I wanted to be able to not just be here for my children, but to be present and active in my children's life. And so I made the decision to start losing weight and on social media, sharing my story, and came across so many others that could relate to me. And that's what FAB does, is helps other women find acceptable balance when it comes to health, wellness, and I have to add the spirituality in it.
Right.
Because at 515 pounds, I felt like life was over. I had made a mistake and I couldn't come back and change it. But once I added God into it, I felt a weight off my shoulder, and I've been able to do this and help other women along the process.
That's amazing. And what has that been like for you, helping these women? Because I know you have a group. What is that like, and what are some of the things that you have to do to help these women through this journey?
It's such an honor, that women are trusting me basically with their livelihood,
Wow.
because some of us, maybe if you have 20 pounds to lose, it may not be a big deal. But many of my followers have 50, 80, 200, 300 pounds to lose. And this is a matter of your quality of your life, your health. And they're saying, Rissa, I'm trusting you to help give me hope, give me motivation, give me the tools to be able to do this story. I have women that's, saying, Rissa, because of you, my life have changed.
Wow.
That I now get up and I feel beautiful. Because the weight loss for me, it's not just about the numbers on the scale, but it's about the quality of life. And, they say I'm able to work out. At one point when I would exercise, everybody always said go walking. And because of the bone-on-bone arthritis, walking was very hard for me. I had anxiety and panic attacks when it came to walking, and it could be, walking to look for my car in the parking lot.
Wow.
And so I thought I didn't like to exercise. I'm now a plus-size fitness coach, and it was that I just didn't know which exercises were good for me. So I'm showing other women that we can exercise, we can eat healthy. We say modify the modified, just finding what fits you.
I love that. So powerful. And I can see this is why you both won. A lot of people think that it's all about the crown. They think, that it's the girl with the most beautiful dress and it's the prettiest woman. But what people don't understand, it's the interview that wins. It's the heart of the queen that shows. And I'm honored that you all hold these titles under the Florida Plus America pageant. Everything that you stand for, the women of God that you are, is so amazing, and you both inspire so many, and that is awesome. So what has it been like, since winning the pageant? How has your lives changed?
Well, I am a lot busier. I'm definitely busier. Honestly, I had Lady in the Mirror, which is my platform, so I was busy with that. But it actually has enhanced my busyness in a good way.
Right.
Because now I want to reach more. It put some sort of motivation behind me. And a lot of women, if I can say this, Pastor Delpha, they think when they see a crown and a sash that it's just the beauty, as you mentioned, the dress, and you get this pretty, it's nice,
It's real nice. It's great.
It's nice. But it's so much bigger than that. And I always say this, and Sister Queen's going to attest, it's bigger than the crown.
Yeah.
It's bigger than a sash. It's an assignment. And the thing that I love about being in pageantry, which I didn't think I would be here actually, is it allows me to give a different perspective of pageantry.
Yeah.
To let people know that not only can you be beautiful, godly, but you can also go and change the world from the inside, not the outside. It's bigger than that.
Right.
So being in pageantry is really just took me to a level of saying, oh, it's bigger than just being the pretty woman, and I'm actually able to carry my platform with me and really go and spread it even more to people I've never met.
Right.
Which is the mission, but now pageantry is attached to it, and it also lets younger girls know when they see us that we're reachable. You can talk to me. I'm not stuck up. I'm not, untouchable. I'm touchable. I'm reachable. So I've been much busier.
Love that. I love that. What about you? How would you say it's changed for you?
Well, I can ditto a lot of the stuff that you said. Definitely busier. But the biggest thing that sticks with me is it has, and you kind of said it too, is it's pushed me to a new zone. I know when I fired my boss, I was like, I'm going to be out in the community, I'm going to be doing this and doing that. Then COVID came.
Yeah.
And so I was inside and basically doing a lot of stuff online. And not as much in person. And I hadn't gotten back to, even now COVID has settled down, and I hadn't gotten back out into the community, which is what I said I wanted to do. And so being inside of the pageant has pushed me to want to serve even more, you know, and so it's gotten me out inside of the community, networking with other people, whether if it be clients or as well as other business people. And so that's how it's helped me so much to come on from behind those four walls and get out in the community and help. Like even every Wednesday, I get up at 5:30 in the morning and I go do 2.4 miles with a program that helped homeless men to be able to get back on their feet and get jobs and so forth. And so the pageant that was the driving force behind it to start doing stuff like this.
I love that. It does, and a lot of people don't see that. And I always say this, it's what you do with what you've been given. You know, people don't seize the moment or the opportunity that God has graced them with. And I can see that you both have really done that. And I'm excited to see how far you even go beyond here. With that being said, how do you balance, you know, being a woman of God? A woman of God. This is Kingdom Influencers. So it's Kingdom. How do you balance being a woman of God, but now you're a beauty queen and not just, you know, people just attaching the queen like, oh, we're calling you queen. You have the sash, you have the crown, the responsibility. How do you balance that? Because, you know, there's so many people that feel like if you're a woman of God, you need to just stay in the four walls of the church. If you're a woman of God, you should be boxed in here and that you can only go beyond or at this limit. How do you balance that?
Well, balance was one of my struggles, big time. And because I have the missus on, I got to vouch for marriage. Okay.
I'm sitting with the missus right now, man.
You know, marriage is my first ministry, right? After God, marriage is my first ministry. So anything that my husband has going on, we're always communicating and seeing what I can do to make sure he is being always pushed up, right? Without excluding me, of course, but just making sure my marriage is always priority, right? That's my first ministry, okay? Being a mom, I know some people say you got to be a mom first, yes, but we're a great team. So being a mom, I still work a full-time job. I'm building my own company and doing pageantry. It's a lot, but you only do what you can and you don't stress about what you can't do. As long as you're doing things in excellence, right? You know you're doing your very best. That's how I balance. I've learned to not bite more than I can chew by doing bits and pieces and being more organized. This has really made me organized, honestly. As busy as I am, I know I say I'm busier, but the business actually has forced me to be more organized. That's how I've become balanced, by being more organized.
For me, I've merged them. I focus on merging them. I'm like, I'm a woman of God, and I'm a woman of God as a wife.
Yes.
I'm a woman of God as a mother, as a business owner, as a queen. And so I merge these things together, and I show people that you can be in the world, but not of the world, you know, and just sharing God's love all the time. That's what I focus on: being loving, being integrous, and sharing God's love, and all of it wraps in together with being a queen. You know, that's what a queen is also, you know, about. Like you said, lifting up your husband, lifting up people, and so forth. So I merge this thing all together and make sure, you know.
I could definitely understand that. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I wear so many hats and do so many things. Having to merge them. And, you know, since both of you guys are wives, you know, you can really understand what that's like with the husband and you having to show up as a wife. You have to show up as a mother. And then you still have to show up for yourself. You know, so I think you both are doing an amazing job just balancing it and making it look easy, which I know it isn't. But you're making it look easy, but it's not. I know, you know, how that can be sometimes, especially with the children, you know, and you both have supportive husbands, which is a big thing for women. Women that are going to be in the industry or do anything besides, you know, you got to have a husband that's supportive and honors what God placed in your life to do as well. So I think that's so amazing. Shout out to the husbands. They're not here, but I know they're going to be watching.
Year round, sir.
So before we wrap up, I want just to quickly both of you just tell us, where we can find you on social media, or if you have anything coming up and how we can support that.
So you can find me on Facebook. I am Lady in the Mirror International, or you can find me on Mrs. Florida Plus America 2022 _ EB. Got so many things. So those are where you can find me on Facebook and Instagram.
All right, you can find me, most of my platforms, all of them just about Clarissa Young. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Did I miss some? All of them, you can find me there at Clarissa Young, which is also the Mrs. Plus, Mrs. South Florida Plus at Clarissa Young. But when you put the Clarissa Young in,
You'll
it should
find
pop
it.
up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for watching this far. Listen, you don't want to go anywhere because we have so much more lined up for you all. Stay tuned.
Do you have a podcast, a YouTube TV show, or are you looking to increase your influence and expand your kingdom message? Then contact us today. My name is Amina Jirogi, and I am the founder and CEO of Revelation Network, where enlightenment and truth takes place. We have TV broadcaster spots available. We also provide studio and production if needed. And we are exclusively on C1 Media, streaming on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Android TV. Schedule your consultation with us today. Email us at revelationnetwork7@gmail.com.
I have gained so many valuable lessons from my experiences. In writing Things I Wish I Knew, Letters to My Little Sisters is a collection of heartfelt conversations with young girls and young adults all over the world, helping them to be prepared for things ahead.
Welcome back. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show so far. I'm excited with my next guests on the couch, on the seats, in the studio, whatever you want to call it, but they are here. So ladies, I want you all to introduce yourselves and then we will get right into the interview.
Hello, I'm Raquel King, Ms. Florida Plus America 2022.
And hello, you all. I am Julia Floyd, Miss Florida Plus America 2022.
Well, I am so excited. I'm sure you guys can see. I am so excited to have you all in the studio. You both look lovely, might I add.
So do you.
Thank you. So I want to talk a little bit about, just some things and, what pageantry is about and your experience. Because, a lot of people, they see the crowns, they see the sashes, and they get caught up into this whole image of that pageantry is all about being beautiful and it's all about the prettiest girl or the girl that has the best gown and the girl that has the most money. But really, it's the heart that speaks for the queen. It's the interview and who the queen is. So I want to talk about your platforms. Tell me about your platform.
My platform is mental health awareness, basically building a space of love and peace and perseverance so that people have a foundation of resilience, so that no matter what life throws at them, they know that they can stand on that foundation of resilience.
I love that you're working and your platform is mental health, because we see this year so many queens, we've lost to Miss USA, just because of what she was dealing with mentally. So it's so needed. What are some of the things that you do to raise awareness or just events that you put on to promote mental health?
In order to promote mental health, I ask random people, how are they doing? And if they just tell me good, I'm like, no, how are you really doing? We've had COVID that we've faced. We face so many different things, just life happens. So how are you really doing? So I've been asking people that. I did a project at my job, to kind of see what changes we can make to help at the workplace. I've been doing like interviews with different people. So I feel like the work is just being able to build up some type of foundation to help people, because the next time someone says, how are you? And you're like, you're good. Like, tell me what that really means.
Right.
Because it can, people are smiling and they could be suicidal. You never know. So I think it's really good to be able to answer those ask those deep questions and answer honestly.
I love that, and that's so true. A lot of people say they're good and they mask it. It's I'm good, but I'm just good for me. You know, so
Exactly.
asking questions, especially your strong friends. So sometimes those are the people that they're good because they learn how to mask being good and looking good, but in our reality they aren't. So I love that. Jalea, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
So tell me about your platform.
So my platform is the Sister to Sister Foundation, helping each and every woman build each and every dream day by day, helping them realize that the progress is not perfection, but it's about taking your time and doing it and having the support to do so.
I love that progress. You know, so many people look at, you know, where they are in life and because they haven't met their expectation goal or whatever it is, it's like, my life is over, whatever. And I was speaking somewhere last night and I talked about sometimes we can't thank God because we're so busy looking at what everybody else has that we can't even see what's in our own hands. So, you know, what are some of the ways that you, you know, raise awareness or, you know, what are some of the things you do?
Well, I have to steal from Raquel because I actually make sure that I communicate with my girls and making sure that they communicate their feelings and where they are. It's good to realize and identify where you are because if you don't know where you are, you can't know where you're going.
Right.
And I feel as if you don't understand your progress, you can never get to that destination of being where you want to be and becoming who you want to become because you don't want to go through the process completely.
Yeah.
So I try to make sure that I completely and wholeheartedly communicate with them and to make sure that they understand that you're not the only one that's going through this. You're not the only one that's experiencing this and being transparent. That's the biggest thing of it all is making sure they know where I am as well.
Transparency is real, and I think
Yes.
especially for queens, you know, people see beauty queens and they think their lives are so perfect, they have it all together, and you know, being able to be transparent and a human, you know, someone that is relatable, I think is such a big thing. So how has your lives changed, you know, since you've won the crown, since you know, have become Miss Florida? How has it changed?
Ooh, a lot. You know, definitely just being more busy.
Yes.
I think everyone can say that.
And just, you know, I've learned, or I'm still learning, you know, to really take care of myself. You know, I thought I knew what self-care, self-love meant,
Right.
but now I'm truly learning, you know? So, like, what fits me better? You know, what are some things that I can do to take care of myself daily? And I think one of the biggest things that I've learned is just to like trust God because I would have never imagined myself being in a pageant.
Yes.
But then I see how pageantry is me, you know, how I like love all these different things in pageantry and how I like just how I grew up and the things that I've loved. I'm like, it fits me so well. I just never thought of doing it. So it just really makes me think like, okay, you better pray those powerful prayers, girl. Like you never know what the Lord is up to and how this platform will be used for something else in the future.
I love that, and that is so true. It's honestly a stepping stone. It's honestly an open door. It's really bigger than the crown. It really is. Just about the assignment that's attached to it and where God is taking you and all the steps that are going to flow and take you from point A to point Z. So tell us, how has your life changed since you've won the pageant?
Definitely become more busy than what I already was. I can definitely say I think it gave me a bigger platform for ministry. Because I am in ministry already, it was more accessible to minister to certain women and being able to show them that you can be saved and still be a queen.
Right.
And I think it's a rare chance to see, a rare perspective to see. You know, you know for sure, as being a co-pastor, you understand that mixing business in the marketplace is sometimes a little borderline. So now doing it, it's a great experience. I can't say that I've had a bad experience since becoming in the pageant.
That's awesome. And you know, it's so funny. This kind of leads me into my next question. How do you balance being a woman of God, and now a pageant queen? Not just someone where people just calling you queen on Facebook or like queen. No, but you have a crown, you have a sash, you're on contract, you have a responsibility, an image. You're in the marketplace now as a public figure. how do you balance that? Because so many people, and I get this so much, I had to become very secure in what God put me on this earth to do.
Exactly.
Because so many people feel like because you're a minister, because you're in ministry, you're a woman of God, you should only come this far. Your limit is only here. You can only do this because this is accepted. How has it been balancing that?
Well, first off, I believe that because the Lord has allowed me this opportunity, I want to bring glory to Him.
Yes.
So it has to start with Him. If I truly believe that He has brought me this far, then I have to seek Him for what's next.
Right.
I have to seek Him in the process. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's all about like really going to Him first and like, okay, Lord, so I won state title now. What's like, we're going next. So what are we doing, God? Just involving Him in the process and keeping Him first, because listen, He's the one who gave me this opportunity. So it's like, okay, Lord, now that we're here, what else can we do? So I think it's all about prioritizing Him. That scripture about like seeking Him first and everything else will come after.
Yes.
So just being able to be secure, like you said, in my foundation, in the Lord, and everything else will come after that. So just making sure that I have that foundation and keeping Him at the head so that I can be the queen that He has called me to be.
Right.
So.
I love that, because it's like certain things are okay. It's okay to do this. It's okay to do that. You're expected to do this. But what happens when God gives you a plan or He places a grace on your life and you're the first to have to do it in your family, you're the first to do it in your ministry, you're the first to do it in your inner circle, and it's like there was no one before you to show you the ropes, or there was no one before you. And so it's like you're doing something that's never been done. How is this okay? So what is that like for you? How have you balanced it? Because you're a praise and worship leader.
Yes.
You're so involved in so many different areas in your church. What is that like, and how is it for you?
I love that you said to be secure
Yeah.
in what God called you. That's where I am now. Being secure, knowing what the oil is on my life, knowing what He has anointed me for, knowing the people that He has anointed me and placed in our lives.
Yeah.
It's good to know who you're around,
Right.
and I feel that God has definitely in this season clarified my identity.
Right.
I feel like before the pageantry, I knew who I was, but with the bigotry that has come from the church land,
Yeah.
it has allowed me to clarify. It has allowed God to clarify my identity, knowing who I am, knowing what I'm called for, knowing what my purpose is, knowing my voice in the land.
Right.
And I love it. I love it.
I love that too. What would you guys say a kingdom influencer is to you? Like, what is it? What is that? Like, what would be your definition? What's the responsibility? Because there really isn't one. There really isn't.
everything.
What would you say? I'm like,
I would say that a kingdom influencer is someone who's missional wherever they go. They are Jesus' hands and feet, even if they're at the grocery store. They're asking the Lord, is there someone you want me to speak to? Should I bless someone? There's so many things that the Lord can do through us anywhere we are, in the workplace, at home. So it's all about being mission-minded. How can I be used by the Lord in any place?
I love that. For you, what would you say?
I agree. I think it's becoming a willing vessel. I think it's being, like you said, the hands and feet of God, literally on earth, and being someone who's impactful, who is inspirational. I think if people can't look at your lifestyle and listen and see that you're practicing what you're preaching, there's no point. There's no point. I feel like, although we're human, and yes, we have fleshly desires and needs, but I feel like if you persevere in the presence of God and just saying, Lord, use me as your will, use me as your vessel, have your way in any shape, way, or form, fashion, it comes easy.
I agree. I definitely agree. Now, you wrote a book. Tell us about your book. You're an author, which I did the forward in the book.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
And your book is so powerful, and I think it's so necessary. Can you tell us a little bit about, the title of the book and just what really inspired you to write this book?
Sure. So the title of the book is The Loss of My Wedding Ring, and it's just talking about my story of divorce. You know, going through a divorce, I felt very alone, you know, kind of didn't know where to look for resources. So I was like, you know what? I don't want anyone to experience what I experienced. So I wanted to be able to kind of write out my thoughts and write out what happened, to be able to close that chapter,
Right.
you know, and then also be able to help inspire someone else, you know, who's going through the same thing, to let them know, you know what? Listen, I went through it too. You can definitely grow through this. You know, abide in the Lord. Definitely be surrounded by people. Don't be afraid to talk to a counselor. You know, I talk about all of that in my book. So I just wanted it to be an encouragement for someone else who may be going through the same thing.
I definitely think that, you know, your story, how you came through and turned your pain into power is so amazing, you know, because a lot of people see divorce as the end of the world. You know, I personally went through divorce myself, and, you know, thank God I'm married to the man of my dreams.
Amen. Yes.
Shout out to my husband. You know, but people feel like it is the end of the rope, that you can't get up from here. Your life is over. That's it. There's no life. But there's really life after divorce. Look at you.
really
You're an
is.
author. You a queen. You have an amazing son, and you're doing great things. You know, so I love that you didn't allow it to shame you and put you in a box or cause you to muzzle yourself. You know, you're speaking about it, and I believe that your story will empower and inspire a lot of women. I really feel like there's a place of mentorship for you, for women, that you can really help women in this field, and it's just amazing. And I love the fact that you decided to be bold about it and talk about it, because I know it's healing, not just for you, but for so many other women. And you, my love, can you tell us about you? I know you're a makeup artist.
Yes.
You have your own cosmetic line. You just had a grand opening of your shop. So tell us about, you know, what got you into makeup, you know, your line, and even, you know, where your shop is located.
Yes. So I've been in makeup since I was 14, and I've loved the journey of it. I got into makeup because I remember as I was growing up, I would watch my mom, my grandmother, aunts, uncles, Lord Jesus. I would watch my family members indulge into different creative aspects of makeup. It was, you know, that makeup is just a mask, and makeup is for Jezebels, as the church would say.
You know, the church girl. You
And I
was just
said, right,
you wear makeup, baby, you going to hell.
Correct. But I wanted to turn that. I wanted
Right.
to turn it and make it a beautiful thing. Let it be an outlet for women to express their beauty, to express the way that they feel about themselves. I feel that makeup is an outlet. It's my ministry.
Right.
It's my ministry. It's my first ministry. I'll say that for sure. And I'm able to help these women.
Right.
When they get in my chair, they're like, okay, I want to do this look. And sometimes they're not sure what they want to do. By the time they get done, they're swinging around, they're taking pictures. And I love that feeling of I helped somebody feel beautiful.
Right.
And some people, they don't know how beautiful they are. So to be able to say, listen, sis, by the swipe of my brush, you are gorgeous, okay?
That can preach, baby.
Literally,
Swipe
by
of
the
my
swipe of my brush. And I love that experience.
Right.
I am located in North Lauderdale, Florida. And I am in the 840 building, the Old Family Central building, in Suite 438. I just had my grand opening, and my cosmetic line just released on Monday. I have my new collection of the Chic collection of lip gloss, which is a hydrating lip collection. It's something that you can use to shine luster. I actually used our pageantry to inspire the line because I felt like when I was on stage at States, my lips were so dull. You remember me saying that?
Yeah, I
was
remember
like,
saying that, like, oh, my
I
lips
look
so
so
dull.
dry.
And I was like,
So when I did the lip collection this time, I'm like, I need some shine. So when I go out there, I need you to look at my lips and say my lip gloss is popping, okay?
Right.
So I literally, that's the line for it. It's an everyday lip line, something that you can use every day, something that's able to go with all neutral outfits and colors and all the good things.
I love it, love it. So, ladies, before we wrap up, please let me know your social medias. Well, you know, the viewers, everyone that's watching, if they want to connect with you, they want to book you, where can they find you? For you also, like, where can they purchase your makeup? Where's your, well, you said where your store is, but just, you know, where can everyone connect with you both?
Sure. You can find me on Facebook at Miss Florida Plus America 2022 or Raquel King. You can also find me on Instagram at Miss Florida Plus America 2022 or www.IamRaquelKing.com.
Yes, and you can find me on Facebook as Julia Floyd or Miss Florida Plus America 2022. And on Instagram, my name is Julia.Arje, Areje. That's my personal page. And my business page is Mystique Beauty, my.stique. And my business website is mystiquebeauty.org.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Kingdom Influencers. I pray that you all enjoyed today's show. I pray that the words that were spoken by all of the guests inspired you and motivated you and uplifted you. Until next time, be blessed.